What's up, guys? I'm out at the range. I'm not gonna have a long drawn out intro. I know what you're here for. I got my hands on the new Labradar LX. I got my hands on the Garmin. I got my old trusty Labradar. I got my 33XC. I got my 416. We're just gonna do a comparison video real quick. The first one on YouTube. We're gonna shoot a mile. I haven't shot this rifle in a year, or not a year, in 6 months since last year, since King of 1 Mile. So we're gonna see if I can put one on the plate. Hey.
How many yards is that?
It's just a mile.
Just a mile.
Well, we got 2150, but today I'll probably shoot the 2150, but right now I'm just shooting a mile.
Oh yeah. Caliber?
This is a 33XC. This is a 416 stroker.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It is.
Enjoy.
Have a good one. It happens occasionally out here since we're right off the road. I had a guy pull up here one day. I had a client here, and he pulls up and he's like, "Hey, are you Travis Cheney?" And I'm like, "My name's Ryan Cheney." He's like, "Yeah, Ryan Cheney, man. Yeah, dude, I watched your YouTube channel, man. I kind of wondered if you shot here. It looked real familiar, like your videos." He's like, "Keep up the good content, dude." I'm like, "What are the odds of that, man?" One of my subscribers found me. Okay, looks like everything's armed and on. Alright, trigger cam. Alright, let's see if that thing will work. Here we go. I don't know where that went, because it's so hazy, but it looks like I got 3123 up here, and I got 3118 on both the Labradar and the Garmin down here. So that's a little slower than what I thought. Let me give it 2/10. It might have went under it. It was a little slow, a little colder out than what I'm used to. Last time I shot this gun, it was 108 degrees. Right now it's 52. So I'm gonna give it a couple tenths. It may have went under it. It goes just off the right. I get winded. So I got 3119 up here, 3114, 3115 over on the Garmin. Let me add a little bit of wind. Gotta be getting close. It's so hazy I can't even see the dirt. It's just like a gray hill. Wow, that sped up a lot on that one. 3141 upstairs, 3134, 3136. Looks like everything's working pretty good. Let's do an experiment. So I turned both of those at about a 15-degree angle. You know, one of the things I've seen quite a bit here recently on Facebook, everybody seems to have an issue with the sight aperture on the new Labradar, because the old Labradars were kind of hard to aim. Not really. All you had to do is put your target right there in the notch. Not a big deal. As you can see, mine works fine. But people seem to have seen this comment so much. Oh, if it's got a sight aperture on, it's probably hard to aim. So let's find out. I just put it at an angle. You can see right there that it's at an angle. So let's see if it works. 2152 yards. That's 20 mils. So I'm at, there's 20, and wind is looking like 1.7. I'm gonna leave the wind where it's at. I feel pretty good about that. It was right in front of it. 3122, 3122, 3127. The old Labradar seems to be showing about 5 feet a second faster than the other two units, which I don't have an issue with. I'm just looking for consistency. So I'm going to go up 0.4. The windage looked good on that. Yeah. Hope the camera got that. I bet it did. Let's do it. Let's do even more. Video that. Come down from the top. Now you can see how much angled off both of the units are. So now I'm off by probably a solid 25 degrees now. Still picked it up. It's off by a solid 20-degree angle, and at 3114, 3116 on the Garmin. Let me show you how this thing works. So there's the arm button right there. You can see that the whole top turns orange when it's armed. You got your settings here. You can go through and put in your projectile weight, to calculate the energy, different modes you can go in. You can choose rifle, handgun, archery, and then you can put in your different distance units because it will actually track. So it basically has all the same settings that the old radar had. This thing will track up to about 20 yards. If you need to use that data for any kind of downrange data that you need. The old radar would go a little further than that, but truthfully, it's not really a necessary thing. I've heard a lot of people talk about the new Caldwell chronograph that actually calculates BC. You don't need a device that's going to calculate BC at 100 yards, because at 100 yards, that's worthless information. What you need to do is take your stuff to the range, take the number that's on the box, plug it in, get some impacts at different distances, and make your own numbers. That's the simple way. Whatever you can actually verify coming out of your gun, on paper, on steel, and say, okay, at this distance, it took 13.5 mils to get there. Okay, then just reverse that number. You know how fast it went. Make your own BC numbers. It's not that hard to do, guys. Any ballistic app can do that. All right. If you need to go back, start a new series, there's a new series button. It's armed and ready to go. Battery life lasts about 5 hours. So, it's got a lot longer battery life than the old AA's in here. Of course, with this, I ran the battery pack. It lasts a long time. It's got USB-C charging on the bottom. Don't have to mess with the old micro that everybody hated. So far I'm pretty impressed. This is my first time messing with the Garmin 2. I have no experience with it, and I don't own either one. I own this machine right here. This one right here is on loan. So, truthfully, I like the feel of the Labradar, and the main reason is it just feels like there's something here. This is made out of cast aluminum. This is made out of plastic. This is made in Canada. This is made in Taiwan. Now it picked up every shot, and so did this. Even cranked at a 25-degree angle. They're the same price point. Man, this feels like there's something here though. I like the feel of that a lot. I really do. I'm really stoked to put one in my arsenal. All right, down at the pistol range, I've got one of my Glocks. You guys probably have never actually seen me shoot a pistol before. Since I'm Ryan Cheney ELR, I'm always shooting big guns, but You know, I do have a couple custom Glocks. So brought my little RMR 19. Got both. I'm not going to try to set up the big radar for this. I don't think I've ever even shot a pistol over that unit, but it's all good. We're just really comparing these two today, and it's got some steel targets down here. So okay, 1105 versus 1108. Okay, within a couple feet a second. Now, I had that pointing straight ahead, and I'm shooting at an angle, probably a 15-degree angle, and it's like they captured them all. You know, that's the first time I think I've ever even got speed off of a pistol, ever. And both units seem to work just fine. I would have to say, you know, I don't want to be biased because, you know, I'm trying to make a fair analytical review here. But I have had my Labradar for a long time, and it's been great. So I'm loyal to Labradar in that aspect of that I've had their product for a long time, and I really have had very minimal amount of issues with it. I know other people have had issues, but my personal experience with my unit has been fine. The thing that I think I like the most, you know, both of these units seem to be about the same as far as capturing the shot, what they show, what they actually do, and the price point. They are about the same. But there's two major things that I keep coming back to in my mind that make me feel like the better value that you're going to get is on the Labradar. And that's number one, is it just feels like it's constructed well, it's durable, it's got a little bit of weight to it. It feels like if you drop the thing, it's going to be fine. And it's also made in Canada, and I'd like to, you know, support our northern neighbors, you know, support those guys. Those guys up in Canada, you know, we know a lot of those guys and shoot with those guys, and they're kind of, you know, family. Garmin, huge mega corporation company, and they're made in Taiwan, and it's just so light. I'm curious, of course, you know, I live in Kansas. We get 40-mile-an-hour wind. I'm curious, in a really strong wind, if it would blow that over. You know, it might. I don't know. The unit works fine. This unit works fine. This thing just feels like a better unit to me. And if I didn't have a unit at all, if I didn't already have a Labradar and feel comfortable making another purchase with them, if I didn't have, like, say I had a old school chronograph, you know, and I was making my first purchase, and I'm looking at these two side by side, and I've got both of them in my hand. Which one of these am I going to feel better about spending my hard-earned money on? I'm going to go with orange, because it just feels like it just feels like a better unit. Pick them both up. I think I'm probably the first person. I don't think anybody took them over at SHOT Show and put both of them in their hands. You know, other than the guys that run Labradar, I'm probably the first person to have each unit in my hand. I like this unit a lot, and I'm super stoked to have one and take it to France, because that was one of the things. I'm like, man, I'm going to go to France to shoot King of 1 Mile. I don't want to take that big unit with me. I'm trying to pack, you know, minimal as possible. But that right there, man, you can put that in my pocket. You know, I'd run that through TSA. They'd be like, what the hell is that thing? I ain't worried about it. But it's pretty cool, guys. Give them a shot. I know some of you guys have a bad taste in your mouth from Labradar. I love those guys, though. And this unit right here is going to change your mind. All right, we're going to do a little experiment. We've got a little 22 subsonic suppressed, and we're going to see how it captures. That is so ridiculously quiet. The clang was like 3 times louder. Oh, there's only one round in there. That's awesome. This thing is nuts. I love it. This thing shoots excellent. Go from the far targets. Very cool. What's up, guys? I'm back in the lab and I'm editing this video, and it's about finished, about ready to start uploading to YouTube, but I just wanted to give some final thoughts on the 2 chronographs that I tested today. Just now that I've had a little bit of time to kind of process, you know, the video was kind of impromptu. Those are not my units. It was just kind of a quick trip to the range to just kind of show some differences and just do a couple little tests. So once I get my actual unit in hand, I'll have a lot more content on it. I'll be able to show a lot more of the features, a lot more of what it's capable of. You know, something I was kind of thinking about is these 2 units are basically the same. The features of them are basically the same. Yeah, the Labradar tracks the bullet for 20 yards or so, but in my opinion, that's not a selling point. It's not, I wouldn't buy it because of that. That's something that I don't even use. You guys heard how I calculate BC, and it's just really not even necessary. The one difference I did think of later is that there is an arm button on the Labradar, and unlike the old radar where it had a timeout feature, there is no timeout feature. So you arm the radar, it is on until the battery goes dead. The Garmin, you start a series on it, it's going, it's already on. You don't have to arm it. That's really the only difference, is that on the Labradar you have to hit a button, which I don't mind, truthfully, because it'll probably, standby mode would probably last longer. That would be an interesting test. That's something we can probably do in the future. See whose battery lasts longer, just sitting there standby. You know, sometimes you leave them on. It sits there in the back of your truck all day, and you get to your next spot or wherever you're going, and oh shit, battery's dead. So that's the one thing I thought of. You know, being the same price point and everything, yeah, I'll tell you this, if you can put one in your hand, put a Labradar in your hand and put a Garmin in your hand, and just check them out. Just check them out. Feel it for yourself. Feel the difference. It just has a feel about it. It just, you know, you can feel quality, you can feel durability. But, you know, as far as the electronics go, as far as the technology, as far as the features, as far as what they can do, they're pretty close. If you also noticed in the video that the screen brightness it looks kind of weird on video, but out in the daylight, it was fantastic. Really, both machines, the screen, you know, I posted a picture a little while back where the Garmin, the screen brightness was looked a little dimmer, but it's got some kind of a weird trans technology that Shane was talking about. Not sure, but really both screens look fine in the daylight. We didn't have super bright sun today. The weatherman was completely wrong. They were calling for 58 and sunny. It was cloudy and 53, and the wind was starting to pick up on us. You could probably hear that in the mic. It wasn't too bad. It was about 12 mile an hour. They were calling for 25 on the weather this morning. I was like, oh, it's going to be ugly, but it wasn't too bad. Anyway, hope you guys stuck with me this long. You guys are awesome. Check out RyanCheneyELR.com. Send your friends. Thanks, guys. See you soon. I'm gonna put some more stuff up real soon.